Welcome to Follow the Content Leaders, a podcast where we want to learn how leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, coaches, and consultants have built their businesses and exactly what role has content played in their strategies. Hello, everyone. Hello, Timothy. How are you?
Hi, I'm all good. I'm all good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us here today in our podcast. Today I'm here interviewing Timothy Axman. I hope I pronounced it that properly. You are a Swedish person living in Valencia, Spain, and you have a web building agency that has had a lot of success in the past. So we're going to learn about that today. And you've also been my accountability buddy actually for launching this podcast. So I wanted to especially thank you today because obviously I don't think we would be here today if you had not kept sending me those messages of how are you doing? How is it going? So thank you for that. So yeah, introduce yourself a bit, Timothy. Tell us about who are you and what is it that you've done this far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's an honor to be here, and I'm very happy that you actually did the podcast. That's awesome, and happy to be helping to push you. But yeah, I'm Timothy from Sweden. I run a web design agency. I build websites for coaches to get them more clients and leads, and then give them a framework to keep on growing online organically after that. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
do. I've been running my agency for about 5 years now, I think. And yeah, it's I did a big change in my life a few years ago. I used to live a very destructive lifestyle, and when I woke up and got that clarity, I was like, I need to change my life. And then web design just felt like the natural way to go because I've always been creative. I used to run a music studio before this, so when I was 14, I
Mm-hmm.
was like building websites for myself and my friends and stuff like that as artists. And then yeah, later on went to run a bigger music studio and then cut that out of my life and moved to Spain and ran my web design agency online from here.
Yeah. So when you started the web design agency, you were already living here in Spain or you were still in
No,
Sweden?
no, I was still in Sweden when I started the agency. I didn't do it completely full time at then. Well, at the end I did. Then I went here to Spain for a workcation. I felt like I work online, so I might as well go to Spain for like 2 3 months. And when I got there, I didn't feel like going back to Sweden, so I ended up staying. First lived in Torrevieja for a while, and then moved here to Valencia.
Yeah, I cannot count the amount of times I've heard that story from someone. People coming just to Spain for some workations, as you call them, and then just being like, I'm just gonna stay here actually, because
Yeah,
yeah, we have very good quality of life in this
for sure,
country.
for sure.
It's
The life quality is so much higher. I had the goal. I was already planning on moving in the future. I had set a goal to move to Spain before I was 30 to move here permanently. But then when I got here for my
mm.
workation, I was 26. And so then I was just planning for like 2 3 months, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going back. So now I've been here for
So you
almost four
already kind of
years.
had it in your vision board then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Nice. So very interesting. You mentioned you used to run a studio, a music studio. How was that? Like, what did you do in those times?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I miss it in some ways. It was me and a friend. We ran it together, and we had a lot of the biggest artists and producers in Sweden coming to our studio when they came to Malmo, because most of them are up in Stockholm in
Mm-hmm.
Sweden. So when they came to Malmo, they came to our studio. We even had international artists come through. So it was a lot of fun. And then we had our own team or squad or whatever with producers and artists as well. So we were making a lot of music. Funny enough, though, I never actually released any of my music. uh,
You should
but
have.
yeah, no, at this point, I think it was a good thing because I lived, both me and all of us, we lived a very destructive lifestyle, and the things we were making songs about were not a message I want to put out in the world at all. I've changed my life quite a lot since then. It was quite negative. So I'm happy I didn't put it out. No, now I want to get back to making more music, but more do it like a
Mm-hmm.
positive message, positive vibe, and like more manifestation, affirmation music. That would be awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. It's incredible how we change, right? We evolve, and then obviously what we create also evolves with us. So for sure. I think you should still keep all of those music that you create in the past, just as a reminder to yourself to what you were and what you've become, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm curious now to know a bit more also about what part has content or played in all of this journey, right? Both when you were running the music studio, I guess you were also creating content for that, and now running the agency. How have you created content? How has that been for you?
Yeah, I love creating content and wish I had even more time to do it. To be fair, when I ran the music studio, we didn't produce a lot of content, a little bit every now and then, but not as not close to the type of content and the way and the strategies that I do today. Now these
Mm-hmm.
days, I know a lot more about content creation and marketing than I did back then. Back then, we were just winging it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's yeah, it's impacted a lot because partly like you need to be visible, your business needs to be seen online, especially when you work with an online business. So if you're just quiet, you can't expect anybody to see you or know what you're doing, know your offers or the value you can give.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it. Like I said, yeah, it's I think if you have a service or doing some type of business, like you need to be online, you need to creating content, you need to be creating content for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's I think you should have fun with it as well. Yeah, you should have a clear strategy, clear content strategy, and be consistent with it. But have fun with it as well, and be yourself. Like be authentic. Learn more about copywriting, and if you do videos, become better at doing videos. Always try to improve your skills. I enjoy both writing and making videos, and it's impacted a lot, not just my business per se, that I can get clients from my content, but also the work I do for my clients have improved because I'm actively training on copywriting, for example. And copywriting is a big part of creating a good website as well, which not
Mm-hmm.
everybody not everybody knows that because most websites I see have the shittiest copy ever. I don't want to call anybody out, but that's yeah, a
Oh, I
lot of the
agree. No
websites.
worries.
Yeah, a lot of websites have really bad copy, so that's something I do for my clients as well, and actually write the copy on the website because yeah, I'm not a copywriter per se, but I'm a lot better copywriter than most of my clients. Um, so I think creating content consistently have improved that skill as well for sure. Since I'm writing
Nice.
content every week, and I wouldn't be writing as much at all if it wasn't for that. And it also open up the mind a lot more when like creating videos or carousels or different designs and stuff like that. To have fun with it and let the creative process flow, it opens up your mind in a different way as well. Uh, both, yeah, both to create better content and stuff like that, but also get you thinking in different directions in your business and what you do and what you can offer, and just improve the mind in different ways. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree so much with the part of having fun with it because, I mean, even when we are creating kind of business related content or content that's there to educate people to learn for whatever it is that we're trying to share knowledge, you still need to try and have fun with it because that way it would be enjoyable for the person that's learning, right? And learning while having fun or while enjoying yourself, it's always a better experience. So that's something I try to do a lot with my content too, because otherwise it's just boring, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly,
my
exactly.
feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it increases both the retention of the people reading or watching, and it increases the engagement as well, because people are having more
Mm,
fun. And I think a lot of people are a bit tired of the perfect experts. That's always just
mm-hmm.
like very inside the box. Yes, yes, they give value, they give knowledge, but like very boringly, and not really showing their personal, like it's called a personal brand. That's for me, that's like show your personality, have fun with it. So I love to, when I write content, like even if I write a value post, I still throw in some cheesy joke or some cheesy line or some just something a little bit bold or whatever, just to have fun with it. I tried to
Mm-hmm.
before when I started, like I tried to be like very correct, and I was like, no, like it's my personal brand, and I need to have fun with it. And if I have fun,
Same.
other people have fun.
Yeah. And the funniest part being of all of this is that the people what they're gonna actually remember is that funny cheesy line you included and not anything that they learned, right? Because that's what
Yeah,
it's gonna stick to their memory because that's what actually building the connection with your audience. But it's kind of hard sometimes to educate clients or people who start creating content on how to have fun with it, especially for me. I used to be a lawyer, so um, most of my clients come from that industry and they are super formal and they kind of struggle a lot of going a bit sidewalks and making these kind of jokes. But I it's part of my job is to educate them. But I'm happy that you agree with this.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome, and I can imagine that's a challenge for you. And a good tip that I
Yeah.
have gotten, it's like to when you write content, try to write to a specific person. Don't write to everybody, and write
Mhm.
to your audience or whatever. Like pick like a family member or a friend or whatever. The writing becomes easier and more fun, and then like try to write maybe not exactly as you talk, but yeah, write as you talk. Like if you are having this conversation about this topic with a friend, and you know that, oh, then I would just say like a joke like this or whatever. Like put that in there. Like people will enjoy it. We're all human beings. Don't try to be like the perfect formal person, because yeah, we're all humans. We all like to have fun. We all like to be entertained. We all like a good
Mhm.
joke or whatever. And I found analogies really good as well, because those sticks a little bit as well. And one thing I've learned when you said about like educating and getting people to remember, when I got into learning more about memory and improving your memory, it was, for example, to learn new
Mhm.
words. It was to see a picture of what it sounds like, and then a picture that you relate it to. And then put it together so it becomes as surrealistic as possible. The more surrealistic it is,
Mhm.
the easier it is to remember. So I think you can combine that a little bit in your content as well. If you do it a little bit crazy, people will remember it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a way to catch
Mm.
the eye and kind of bring directly a visual image into the head of the person that's reading you. So, for sure, in terms of copywriting and psychology techniques behind copywriting, that works wonders. And
Yeah.
curious also to learn a bit more. I've seen all your content on LinkedIn, but are you creating content in other platforms or are you completely focused on LinkedIn?
I'm more or less completely focused on LinkedIn. I have my
Mm-hmm.
Instagram as well, which I post very rarely. Like I try to just focus on LinkedIn and be very good at LinkedIn. It's easier, but I'm try like my goal is to start becoming more active on Instagram as well, to build out more my personal brand there too. It's a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
different jargon on the two platforms, but yeah, I have a shit ton of content, so I have so much content I can repurpose into Instagram, but I just
Yeah.
need to do it. The thing is, I was talking with a friend about it today. I have this hate love relationship with Instagram, so
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay off from there. I've had the app deleted for a while now, and I just downloaded it today because I'm part of Valencia Entrepreneur, so we need to market like what we're doing. So I was like, damn. Uh,
Yeah, I'm the
so
same. I'm completely focused on LinkedIn. I have also
yeah,
YouTube for the podcast, but that's it. And whenever someone asks me why, I'm going to ask you why now too. But I have a feeling it's kind of the same answer. It's just, it's the only platform I really understand
yeah,
and kind of feel that I can understand what's going on and how to manage it, right? Whereas Instagram,
exactly.
I just get lost.
Yeah, yeah. It's LinkedIn is like without a doubt the platform I enjoy the most. I really I enjoy being there. I haven't been
Hmm.
like I have worked before where I just went on Instagram and I just was just on Facebook and stuff like that, and going a little bit back and forth and not really finding my way before. And I like Facebook. I completely hate Facebook so much. And I remember I went a
Hmm.
really like expensive
Same.
program to learn Facebook, and then I was just sitting there every day hating it, and I was like, oh. And then yeah, I've been on Instagram as well. Had a business coach for Instagram, so I learned like how Instagram works and how I should use it. And but I still didn't have that consistency and didn't enjoy it. And when I've come to LinkedIn, I wish I came to LinkedIn full time a long time ago. But when I finally
Mm-hmm.
got here and started to be consistent on LinkedIn and use that as my main platform, like I really noticed the power of LinkedIn, both of course for the business and getting clients and helping people and building a community, but also like building people are really supportive on there. I think it's the least toxic platform.
Yeah.
The other platforms are very toxic, and here people are very supportive. You build good communities and actually real relationships in a different way. I've met people I've
Mm.
met on LinkedIn. I've met a lot of people on LinkedIn and then met them in real life, and met
Mm-hmm.
like got a lot of real life friends through LinkedIn. Just met up with two now this Saturday. They just moved to Valencia from LinkedIn. They
Mm.
didn't move from LinkedIn; they moved from Canada, but I met them on LinkedIn.
Even further away.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think it's an
Yeah,
amazing
that's super
platform.
nice. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely. LinkedIn is a very nice platform where everyone is nice to each other. There is no, I mean, you can get some hate and some things can happen on LinkedIn, but it's not as common as in other networks. So that's why it
Yeah.
also makes it kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Of
how
course.
about your creative process? You've mentioned you create content every week. So how does that
Yeah.
look like? Or how many hours are you spending? How do you structure it?
Uh, well, how many hours is a little bit different, but I post Monday through Friday, so five posts a week. And I have
Mm-hmm.
my process looks like, well, throughout the week I have a pinned note in my phone, so every time I come with an idea I write it down in my notes, so I can save it.
Mm-hmm.
But then on Friday evening I sit down. I have a really really good Notion file with like a content creation planner, so on Friday evening I sit down and I write down all the ideas that I'm going to do, and I say like, okay, on Monday I'm posting about this. On Tuesday that. Wednesday this. And then yeah, choose the topic, the hook, the the CTA I'm going to have, what format it's going to be. If it's going to be text, single image, video, whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I have all these things clear. Like I know exactly what type of post it's going to be, what I want the direction to go. And then on Saturday is my content creation day. So then
Mm-hmm.
when I've done my things in the morning, I sit down and I just write all the content. I start with writing all the captions for all the posts, and then if I'm going to make a carousel or a video, whatever, I write down the scripts. I write down the things that are going to be in the carousels. But except everything that
Mm-hmm.
needs writing, I write all of that for those 5 posts, and that can
Mm-hmm.
take a little bit different depending on the formats of the content, depending on the like where I am in my creative process at that day, like where my mind
Yeah.
is. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's shorter. Like sometimes I can knock it off in 1.5, 2 hours. Sometimes it takes 5. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I get that.
But yeah, write everything. When I've written everything, I find images for the single image post. I design images that's needed, if that's for a thumbnail or for a carousel or just a single image that needs designing, and then create the
Mm-hmm.
carousels or whatever. Everything that needs designing, I do that after. And if I got time, I record the video. I used to batch record my videos, so I just had a bunch of videos
Mm-hmm.
laying around, so I could just edit it quickly it was that video's turn. I haven't really done that in a while, so I'm going to try to do that soon. Uh, but yeah, otherwise, if I have the time, I record the video. Uh, but otherwise, I just record it on the Sunday or if in a weekday, depending on the day I'm going to post it and like what my schedule look like. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I need to get back to
Yeah.
to batch recording them. It makes such a big difference.
Batching is so great when you do it, and then when you stop, it's so
Yeah,
hard to get back onto the batching
yeah,
train,
for
right?
sure, for sure. But I really love at least batching the rest of the content, like doing everything in one day, and then I
Mm-hmm.
schedule everything so then it goes live automatically, and that's saved me a lot of time, stress, and energy.
Absolutely. I like for me it's the only way I can conceive to create content daily. If
Yeah,
you are creating content daily and writing it every day on the day and not scheduling in advance, like I
yeah,
do
no,
not know how you handle your anxiety, but I'm
no.
incapable of doing that.
I don't understand people that can do that. I would walk into the wall so quickly. I did. I'm in a paid LinkedIn community, and shout out to Brandon. I was talking with somebody there about scheduling posts because I always schedule my posts, and somebody, but
Uh-huh.
scheduling the post makes like gives you a lower reach, and I was like, damn, the reach had already gone down so much. Am I like lowering my own
Yeah.
reach even more? So I was like, okay, I will do a test. Like I would go for a couple of weeks without scheduling and just like posting it on the day, even though of course I still made the content beforehand, but just
Mm-hmm.
by just posting it out manually every day. And just that, I did it for 2 weeks. I didn't see any major difference in the reach, but it was so stressful. Like
Hmm.
it's just such a
And
small thing.
especially,
Yeah,
yeah, and then your day is turning around that moment, right? Because you need to
yeah,
post at least more or less in the same time. So then, for
yeah,
me, the whole day will be waiting until it's 12 and a half to post. I have
yeah,
a business to run, right?
yeah,
I cannot be
exactly.
doing this.
Yeah, no, it was just such a yeah, like it's such a small thing, but it just created so much more stress for no reason at all because yeah, it didn't make any
Hmm.
difference. And if I always post at 9 a.m. So then I know every day my posts go out at 9. I'm by the laptop at 9. I engage, I answer comments, I talk with people in DMs, whatever. And
Hmm.
but if I sit there and first of all I know that okay it's not scheduled, then I don't get as motivated to sit by the laptop at exactly 9 or earlier. And then when I do, I still like okay I start to engage a little bit, and then I sit and like watch the clock. Okay, 58, 59. Nine,
Yeah.
nine, and then I was like, "Shit! I need to upload quickly." It's just so stressful. I don't know.
The adrenaline rush, I can even feel it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me today. I always like to end the podcast with one question because I love consuming content both online and offline. So I love reading actual books too, and I would love for you to share with us a recommendation of a book that you've read recently or that has specially impacted you.
I think you already know which book I'm going to say. I did gave the recommendation in your comment section a couple of days ago. But one of my favorite books by one of my
Probably.
favorite authors, yeah, it's Building a Story Brand. It's an amazing
Mm-hmm.
book. Donald Miller is the goat. Like a lot of
Yeah.
the things I do in my business and on my websites and stuff like that are based on that book. Not solely that book, but a lot of it in the book. And yeah,
Hmm.
it's an amazing book. I think everybody should read it. You gain so much clarity in your business and your ideal clients and how you can help them and how you can speak with them and get into their mind and yeah, and how you should deliver your message on your website, your social media posts, telling the story of your clients, making them the hero. It's yeah, it's an amazing book. Everybody should read it.
Yeah, I agree. I've read it and I've been in his newsletter since before I quitted my lawyer job. So he was
Yeah,
one of the first persons in the copywriting world I started to follow. So definitely agreed on this one.
mm,
Perfect,
yeah.
Timothy. So thank you so much and go on to have a lovely day.
Thank you too. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.